is a Baldwin Class 12-10OT pannier tank and is the biggest narrow gauge engine to set rail on narrow gauge rails. Unfortunately, being big doesn't have all the perks. His wheel arrangement was done terribly, and he would often derail off the tracks. I remember this day well. It was a bad day for Stanley. A bad day indeed. I got too much to do today. Oh well, let's just get this done and over. Oh, come on. Oh, of course the day had to start off like this. It didn't take long for another engine to come by and see the crash. And when Duke saw the crash, he was truly disappointed.
You big reckless scallywag. You've done nothing to help this railway, and look what you did.
Listen, bud, in the States we didn't care a single dang dime for a few spills.
Okay, I know you may be slightly stupid, but we're not in the States anymore, Buster.
Yeah, whatever.
You need to take your work more seriously. His Grace will not suit your behavior at all.
His Grace, huh? More like his... Stanley, even you of all people should know not to use that language around here. There's kids watching this show. Anyways, this truck has a leak in it, and I have to get to Lower Osborne in 10 minutes. Hurry up. Later that day, the manager had banished Stanley to the shed until further notice. Stanley was really ticked off by this. I have one tiny little accident, and the manager sends me to the back of the shed. If I knew this railway was like this, I would have stayed back in the war. The other engines were delighted by Stanley's crash. They teased him to absolutely no end. Stanley, you couldn't even make an inch before you had the urge to crash. Not only did you derail yourself, you injured a worker and delayed my train. Congratulations, you're a prat. Shove it up your firebox, you slime ball. Ugh, typical. You just can't take a joke, can you? I only laugh at funny jokes, not jokes made by some cheeky little teabag. Oh, I see how it is. I'll just go annoy Duke or something. At least he knows how to take a joke. For what I remember of Stanley, he never got along with anyone, not even Proteus. Proteus doesn't say anything. But, of course, there's always that one engine that he argued with a little too much. Well, Stanley, I heard your morning was quite smashing. Haha. Go away, Albert. I don't want to deal with you right now. Oh, why not? Are you just afraid that you'll crash into some fuel tankers or something? You'll just make the day worse, Albert. You make every day worse. Oh, speak for yourself, you plank. Okay, that's it. I'm giving you to count 2 to get the heck out of this shed right now. Why? Because you can't count up higher than your own number? A little while later, Stanley was pulling a small goods train. He was thinking a way to get back at Albert. That little tank engine is so disrespectful. He doesn't know what I've been through. He'll pay one day. He'll pay. However, Stanley was so deep in thought, he didn't see what was in front of him. Right there in front of him was Albert. Albert was filling up on coal and had a goods train behind him. Stanley could not stop. His brakes weren't working. The coupling snapped on his train, and what happened next, well, you probably already know by now. Once the dust had finally settled, it was a horrible mess. Coal was everywhere, Albert had derailed, the special shipment of rocks was destroyed, and Stanley was a complete prat. Luckily, Smudger and his crew were nearby, and they got to work in clearing up the wreckage. Once the wreckage had cleared, Proteus brought the Fat Controllers a lot of rock to the transfer yards, and Smudger brought the waste to the dump, and everyone was happy. Well, except for the manager. The manager was really mad at the engines, especially Stanley.
Stanley, you caused confusion and delay. You caused 2 crashes today. Those are 2 strikes. Next strike and you're out. Be careful. Don't screw it up.
Yes, sir. And with that, the manager left. It wasn't just the manager that was mad at Stanley. There were others that were mad at Stanley for his crash. Some more than others. Stanley, I can't believe you even did something like this. This is a low in for you. For the very last time. My brakes failed, okay? Deal with it. Oh, yes, sure, whatever. Just another excuse for you to... Alright, that's it. I'm sick and tired of people saying that I caused every accident I do. But I didn't this time. If you have a problem with it, face me like a man. Or are you too much of a sissy to do that? Oh, so you want to keep going now, eh? Alright, let's go, mate. This is exactly why you're not in the railway series. The very next morning, the old manager had some very bad news for the engines. Some very bad news indeed. This is just glitz. The points are jammed to one direction, so Alba cannot get out of the shed. That means tomorrow's train has to be run by... Stanley. But sir, can any of us do it? Smudger, I am so sorry. You have too many quota deliveries and shunting trains you have to do. Duke is stuck on passenger duties, and Proteus is too much of a wuss to do anything. The very next day, Stanley was sent to take 2 coal trucks to the hills. He was so proud of this, he didn't take a train in forever. Come on, Albert, there's work to be done. Oops, I forgot. You broke down. Ha! Says the prat who breaks down on a weekly basis. Oi, watch it. You're going on ground you can't recover from. Albert. Well, at least I don't cause crashes that physically hurt someone. And where have I done that? Well, for starters, you gave my driver a concussion yesterday.
I'm ready to go to work.
You tried pulling passengers for the first time last week. You almost killed Proteus. And we can't forget the time you set that tank on fire. Grandpa, get the fire extinguisher quick! Yeah, all's well that ends well. Anyways, I gotta take these coal trucks to the hills. Surprisingly, Stanley's run started out really well. He was running really smoothly and hadn't derailed a bit. However, when he got to the hills, that's when the trouble started. Stanley had really stiff lot. The trucks didn't want to go. They creaked and they croaked, and whatever stupid words Thomas shows use. However, Stanley was pulling a bit too hard, and before he knew it, the coupling snapped. The trucks rolled down the hill, never to be seen again, and Stanley derailed on the hill. Ah! Someone please help! The ground beneath him shook, and eventually, Stanley did fall. And as for the trucks... Yes, finally. I'm finally done with my crap.
Who's making that roll crap?
Help me. Later that evening, the manager brought Albert with a flatbed to get Stanley onto the rails. The manager was not happy.
You are a stupid engine. You caused Smudger's crash and derailed yourself. At least the points are switched back now.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it?
Don't test me, boy. I know what you're going to do for the next month and a half.
And sure enough, Stanley, for a month and a half, had to bring the waste from the Osborne septic tank to the dump. He didn't like this, and the other engines made fun of him for this. Stanley seemed to be in a pretty crappy situation, you know what I mean? I think there was supposed to be some kind of moral or something, but I just can't remember it right now. Oh yeah, don't be like Stanley or else you'll be pulling poop for the next month and a half.